Hello, this is Sandra Travinsky, and I'm part of Christine's fabulous team of Younique presenters, and I am going to show you how to create actually to take the current existing postcard, Blitz card, whatever you want to call it, that you see up on my screen here, and show you how to make changes to it. Now, a lot of people will say to go right ahead, do this in Photoshop, which is awesome if you have it, but Photoshop is, for one thing, not the cheapest application to own. It's also not the easiest to use. So I'm going to show you how to do it in an application that a good deal of us already have on our computers, and that would be Microsoft Office. Now, I am on a Macintosh, but the procedures to doing this is very similar to doing it on the Windows side. So if that's where you are, just follow along. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. Message me on Facebook. Send me a friend request over there through the group. I am on Team Superstars. And this file here, actually, you can find on Team Superstars as well if you don't already have it. It is called bestpostcard.jpg. Go into the file section, you will find it. And this is what I'm using as my launching point. And see, the thing is, we don't want to use this unless we are Lucy, because we don't want the www.lucyunique showing up. So we need to go ahead and change that, and that's what we're going to do. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to rely on other people to do things, but if you need help with this, if you need someone to do stuff for you using Photoshop or Word, I can help you. I can take care of it. I can do what you need. If you're wondering about where I come from, basically, as far as my experience with doing this, I have worked as a graphic designer for basically since 1996 on and off, 96 to 2004 for one company, and then from 2008 2009 for another, and basically done a bunch of graphic design on my own. So I've worked with these applications. I'm by no means the end-all be-all of the information, but I can try and help you out or point you in the right direction to the information you're looking for. That said, let's get started. I am going to start with Word, which I do have running. I have a blank document started here. Very simple. This is exactly what you would have if you just start up Word and open up a blank file. I am going to go right ahead and go to the Insert menu, which is going to be off the screen from where you can see here. But if I go to the Insert menu, and you can see here, I want to insert a photo, a picture from File, and then I'm going to have to browse for it because it's not right up in the foreground. But I have it in corporate. It is a corporate approved graphic to use, so I'm going to start with it. I can either use this one here, you'll see the thumbnail, or I can use this one here, same sort of deal. They're both the same. This one actually, I believe, is a smaller file. This one's 1 meg, this one here. Oh, they're both the same. So I'm going to start with this one, and because that's the one that's available on the Team Superstars files list. So hit Insert, and it brings it in right here as a graphic on a Word document. This little line up here is going to bug me, but I'm going to leave it alone because I'm going to show you how to change the text. That's the kind of thing that we're looking for in this demo. This is an optional step. I always do it more out of habit than anything else, but I always change the text flow on a graphic if I want to be typing on it. Because we're putting in text boxes, it's going to be a lot more rigid in some ways, and give you a lot more freedom in others. But this is out of habit. I always will right click on a graphic that I insert, go to wrap text, and I will turn off any sort of wrapping, because what happens if you have wrap turned on is it'll move the text in relation to the graphic by if you have it inline with text, it'll flow around it, and if you have it outside of inline with text, you can type around in a square, but I turn it to none because basically what that does is it allows you to type right over top of it if you need to. We're going to be working with text boxes, so that's actually a non-issue. Like I said, I just do that out of habit. So with this in place, you want to go over to the Home tab. Now, this is Office 2011 for Mac. I'm not sure about previous versions. It's the first one that I've had on my Mac, so I don't know when these tabs and toolbars showed up. I know in Word, I'm pretty sure it was 2007, Office 2007, when they introduced this new layout of where menus are. I still use menus not exclusively, but heavily. I also use the right click, so if you are on a Mac and don't have a 2-button mouse, you're probably going to use the command click wherever I say right click. In the demo, when you see it, a regular click, a left click is done. It's going to show a little purple spot, and if it's a right click, it's an orange spot. So we're going to start off, go to your Home tab over here, and you're going to want to choose a text box. Just click on Insert Text Box. It changes your cursor and lets you click in the top left corner, drag to the bottom right corner of what you want to hide, and just let go. Now, it didn't cover anything, so you need to change your settings for it. So right click on the edge of the frame, and you want to go to Format Shape. And what that is going to do is, you've got the fill showing here. You want it to be a solid fill, and you want it to be a fill in black. So when I select it, you see that everything disappeared down here, and that's what you want it to do. If for whatever reason you want something ghosted in the back, you're going to change this slider setting here. It comes in darker or lighter, but we want it to be 100% coverage, so the transparency should be set to 0. Then just click OK, and you've got your text box. It's black. It's ready to be typed in. So all you want to do is click next to this little paragraph marker, which I do have turned on, again, out of my graphic design habits that I turn them on. So it just shows me where I'm typing and what I'm doing. So click before it and start typing, and I'm just going to type my website, which is www.wantlasheslikemine.com, and I hope I typed that right. I'm going to hit Control A here, which is going to select all of the text in this text box, because you can't see it. It came in black. So I need to go up and I need to change the text color. I'm just going to stick with white for now, and that's all that we need. Now I'm going to make it look more like a website address, so I'm going to underline it. And because this is not one of our standard fonts, I'm actually going to go ahead and change it to Arial, and that's because that's the font that's used on the rest of this. So I'm just going to use Arial, and I am going to take the text, I'm going to center it, and because I've got a long URL, I can't go bigger than 14, but by all means try and fill the space as best as you can, because you really want your website address to stand out. So I'm going to 14, and there we go. There you have it. There's my text. And so you can leave it right there, right at that, or if you want, you can go ahead and add and get rid of the text here, vos cils comme ceux-là, want my lashes. Go right ahead and change that if you want. So I'm just going to show you kind of a reinforcement on how to do this. Just go ahead and click text box again, our standard text box, and you want to cover this text. Just select, drag, and then let go. Right click on the edge of it, and you want to format shape, and you want to select your fill as a black fill, and click OK. Now you can start typing again, and it'll come in again in black text. So I'm just going to type my name, and then I'm going to Control A to select all, and I'm going to change the font color. I'm going to change the font itself, but I'll change the font color first. Change it to, I'm going to go with a different color, and I'm going to just select the more colors here. Now you have a bunch of options on the Mac. It's different on the PC, but you can choose your crayons and whatnot. I'm going to work with the sliders. I'm going to choose the RGB sliders, which are already selected, because Younique requests that when we do our own stuff before submitting it to the corporate for approval, or if you're working with approved corporate stuff, they do want you to sort of stick to these guidelines, and I shouldn't say sort of, they want you to stick to these guidelines. It's a way of protecting their guidelines and their brand and their logo, and I respect them for that. So if you scroll down through this document, you can see you've got your color palette. This is the 80077, that's the Younique purple, but I'm going to change things to, I will go with making it a really bright yellow on the black background. So I've got my colors showing right here, and I will select the, well actually I'm going to overwrite these values. So the RGBs, you've got red, green, and blue, change the colors to 254 and then 203 and then 11, and that is the approved Younique yellow. Click on that and you can see my name. It actually shows up. You can read it, and I'm just going to put in my number 438-863-4468. Personally, I don't like when it's over left justified. It's sort of crowding in on this. It doesn't seem to line up with anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to change it to a right justification. I am going to change the font itself. So in this list, I've got a ton of fonts. Now I'm going to select this font called Odette, which is an approved font. It is 100% free, so just head on out to a browser and look for Odette free, and you'll find it. And the reason I looked for Odette is because you have got the Younique font palette, Odette regular, and that's what I'm using here. So those are the fonts that came in, and I don't like the size of it. I want it bigger, so I will make it 20 points. I could have gone bigger than that even still, go with 24, and then I can click off of it, and there you have it. Hopefully this demo showed you the very quick and dirty steps on how to get things modified to what you want them to say and how you want them to look. If you have questions, by all means, let me know. Just click on the, well, send me a message either on Facebook or post something in Team Superstars. I'm more than happy to help you out, but hopefully this will get you started. Thanks, and have a great day.